Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And don't worry, John Gordon will do probably the next 3 introductions, at least 2, because I want to hear him call me the Oracle of the Mid-South.
That's Frank.
Oh, is that Frank?
I call you the host with the most.
Yeah, I'm the host of the most with you, right? Okay. Well, we may let you do the next 4 of them then. I don't know.
No, that's good.
Hey, we got the angler with the most right now. I wished I could have been at Pickwick, but we've also got our man on the who's on the site most of the times. Ron Wong has joined this interview because he wants to hear and wants to talk to this next young man from Fayetteville, Tennessee, who struck magic on Pickwick Lake at the Whataburger. I love Whataburgers. And Ron didn't bring me back a coupon or anything.
Well, they had them. They were giving them away to the anglers on the 3rd day weigh-in there.
Oh, okay.
Golly, I got to tell you, I ate one and it was good.
That's all.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, that's enough from you, Ron. Let's talk to the real man himself, Bass Elite Series champion, Brandon Lester. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing this morning?
We're doing fine. We want to know if it was. Did you have a good beach trip after winning $100,000? Did you spend all your money down there on the beach? I'm just checking.
No, I've still got it all. I actually didn't even get to deposit the check until I got back. I couldn't find my bank down there, but
oh my,
man, it worked out. It worked out really good. That vacation, we had actually had it planned for a while. It just worked out that I won the tournament and got to leave and go straight on family vacation. So
it was
worked
wonderful.
out pretty good there.
It was wonderful, and before Ron starts asking these technical questions. You know my situation with cancer, and I'm probably landlocked a lot of times, and I've become addictive. John Gordon, is that the right word? Yeah, for watching fishing on TV. And I was actually in the boat with Brandon Lester. Did you know that? I mean, I was there. I was watching him, and he was on that spot, and he wasn't. It was just amazing, Brandon. And I know you're 2 hours away from Pickwick. You're familiar with the lake, so tell us how you did it. And then Ron jump in and ask him something technical.
Yeah, like you said, I'm 2 hours away from there, and I've spent quite a bit of time on Pickwick over the years, kind of learning the lake and stuff, and fished a few Bassmaster tournaments there, but mostly just fun fishing and kind of just using it as a learning grounds and a stomping grounds, learning how to fish the Tennessee River. And I had a good practice leading up to that event. I knew it was going to be kind of a ledge fishing event. The fish were going to be finished up spawning and moving out to those offshore areas and setting up on shell beds and stuff like they do on the Tennessee River. And that's exactly how it played out, and I just had a fantastic week. I was just fortunate that it all worked out the way it did.
Well, Ron, you watched it. Tell him.
Oh, yes. Brandon, what is surprising is the one little spot that you found.
Yeah.
Because it's not that very big. I mean, and it was shallow but near deep water. Our listeners always like to know. We have a lot of listeners that fish in the Pickwick area.
Yes.
And not specifically saying where your spot is, but kind of about the spot. It was a hump, but it had shell beds, and it was close to the river.
It was, yeah, and actually, the biggest key to me winning that event was the fact that I had that spot to myself. I didn't have to share it with other competitors, like a lot of other competitors were having to share their spot with maybe 2, 3, 4 other boats. I had that spot to myself, and I think the reason why is because my spot was a little bit shallower. Most people were looking out there in those, 15 to 20 feet of water depths, and I had some places out there in that depth. But that spot that was so special for me was only about 4 or 5 feet on top, and it rolled off into about 8 or 9 feet.
Amazing.
So it was kind of luck finding a spot like that. But man, it was
and
a
you
good
caught
spot.
those fish with several different lures too.
Yes.
On the very same spot. I think you used a Strike King 4.0 crankbait. You used a wacky rigged worm, and tell our listeners those baits that you used, because that's very interesting.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it's very important. Anytime you're fishing for schools of fish like that, they'll be in a different mood every single time you go to fish for them. Their activity levels are different. The first couple of days, I did a lot of my damage on a big square bill crankbait, Strike King 4.0.
Yeah.
And then, especially on day 3 and 4, after I had fished for them a good bit, they were starting to get pressured a little bit. I went to that wacky rig worm. It was actually what we call a Nico rig, which is where you take a wacky rig and you put a nail weight in the head of it, so it gets that worm down to the bottom. And that's what I really did a lot of my damage on as the tournament went on.
Well, you know something, I got to ask you this. I mean, I was reading this. You had competed in more than 110 Bassmaster tournaments before you won in February in Florida. And then all of a sudden, after 110 tournaments, you win in Florida, and then here comes Pickwick. And it puts you over that magic mark. Now, Brandon, you're a millionaire now. I hate to tell you that if you didn't know that by now, but you've gone over $1 million. I mean, it's not like it happened overnight, because you have been consistent in this career and being able to do what you love. And at the same time, I watched the weigh-ins on Sunday. I know your family's, all this things going on. What does this do for your career?
It's a huge deal, man. I mean, to me personally, it's a huge deal because as a competitor, we're there to win.
Yes.
And the honest truth is at our level, you don't get to feel how it feels to win very often because it's so hard to do. So it certainly feels good to finally get my hands on one of those coveted blue trophies.
The blue trophies.
And that $100,000 check is a big deal too.
It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal to my family and my sponsors as well. A lot of my sponsors have been with me for most of my career.
Well, tell us about them. Tell us about them, because there's some people that there've been rocky times. I don't refer to Rocky Top, but rocky times, and so you have to battle through. And these sponsors are stuck with you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Midway USA is my title sponsor this year. They're an online retail company. I'm sure most people are familiar with them. They've got everything for the outdoorsman. Phoenix Boat's been with me my whole entire career. Mustad. Most people know Mustad as a hook company, but we actually have a Brandon Lester signature series of fishing rods coming out. We're doing a big reveal of them at ICAST.
There you go, Ron.
I will be at ICAST.
Yeah, Ron. Right.
And they'll all be there at ICAST. Super excited about that. I got a long list, man. Mossy Oak Fishing, Vicious Fishing Line, Hook Apparel, Toyota. Got a lot of great sponsors. You can't do this without great sponsors. No.
And you got to tell our listeners before we let you go here, and Ron, ask you one more question about how to keep up with you, because I know I'm on Facebook with you, but you have a great web page and things along that's pretty cool. So tell our listeners how they can follow you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on Facebook at Pro Angler Brandon Lester.
Yes.
Instagram at Brandon Lester Fishing. Also got a YouTube channel. Put a lot of effort into my YouTube channel, especially over the past year or so. I do it a lot more during the off season because I do it all myself. But you can find it at Brandon Lester Fishing. Be happy for everybody to follow along. I try to make it educational, interesting, and I love teaching people about the sport that we love so much. I really do.
Yeah.
And I know Ron. I know Ron. There was he's consistent. He beat out 91 anglers at Pickwick, but there was only one number ones. So
that's right.
Ron, talk about.
And Brandon, over the last year and a half, 2 years, I have switched over all of my fishing line to Vicious Fishing, and so is Larry Ray.
Yes, yeah.
And Vicious Fishing, I have to tell you, you use the Pro Elite, you use the Toro, you use it all. Talk a little bit about the Vicious Fishing line that you use.
Yeah, that's another great great company, a family-owned company.
Yes,
you know,
it is.
Greg and his wife, they've been with me my whole career. And, man, that new Toro fluorocarbon is really something else. It's smaller diameter, real high end.
Yeah.
But I've been using that Pro Elite and that 100% fluoro. Gosh, I wouldn't even know how to count how many bass I've caught on it, and it doesn't fail me. It's tried and true, man.
Yeah.
And then on the braided line side, we've got that Vicious no fade braid, and it really is a no fade braid. It holds its color, which is really awesome. It's a great braided line as well, and we've got mono. I mean, they've got something for everybody. They really do.
And I know that I got to ask you one more thing here. Now, when you're in that boat and you're catching fish, do you know that camera's watching you? I mean, I'm just concerned about what's going on in Brandon's mind when that guy with the camera's right behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's watching, but, you know, at the beginning of my career, it probably kind of bothered me a little bit. I probably thought about it now. It's another day at the office.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
You're always going to have butterflies and stuff leaving the dock, but when you get out there and you make those first few casts and you catch a couple, you just settle down, and it's what we do, man. It's just I'm out there fishing. You know, I'm competing against the fish.
Well, when you caught that 6-pound, 13-ounce one, I was with you, buddy. I mean, I said, get it, Brandon, because these guys are crazy about it. Hey, Brandon, you and Ron, thanks, Ron, for joining in. Brandon, got a lot of fans here in the Memphis area, not just because you won at Pickwick, but because of the stand you take as a family man and everything else, and following your obligations to go to the beach. And not knowing where your check was, I'm worried about that, but that's okay. No,
it's in the bank now.
It's in the bank now. Okay. Thank you, Brandon. We'll be glad to talk to you again down the line and continue
and
to
I'll
see us.
See you at ICAST.
There you go.
And congratulations.
All right, Brandon Lester. Thank you, buddy. All right.
Sounds good. Y'all have a good day.
All right. Let's take another break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and Ron won't step out, and I'll step in. We'll be right back.